Hey, this is Dani. I'm just sitting here having some random thoughts. I just now am at the bottom of this kind of mountain that I climbed last night to camp for free, to boondock on this elk refuge here right outside of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And I'm just having a lot of thoughts about how much adventure is good and how much comfort and safety and surety, being sure of things. So when I'm on these traveling adventures, as if you've been watching me, like I haven't traveled much as far as national parks or anything like that. I went to my first national park earlier this year as a 52-year-old woman. Oh, actually I was only 51 at the time, but barely. Out in Utah. I was 51 for the first time going through national parks. So all this outdoorsy stuff is new to me. And driving in the outdoors is new to me, and boondocking is new to me. And so many of these roads, these Forest Service roads and things that you use when you're boondocking are terrifying. Especially in a minivan, okay? Especially in a minivan because my clearance is so low. One of the reasons I picked the Toyota Sienna is it has about 1 inch more than a Honda Odyssey. It was gonna be Toyota or Honda just because of the longevity, and I needed a minivan that would ride to 300 and beyond. Like I just needed one with super long life because that's what I can afford. And if I can spend a few $1,000s on one and have it run for another 100,000 miles, then that's awesome. So I wanted a Toyota or a Honda, and the ground clearance on this was 1 inch taller. And I'm telling you what, I used every single little centimeter. I used every little quarter inch I had to get through this experience. Yesterday, I started out the morning running errands in Jackson Hole, and then I went to a hot spring pool that was amazing. I'll put that in this. I don't know how editing is going to go. I don't know where that's going to be, but you'll see it. And it was amazing. And I could have driven to the place that I parked, that I boondocked the night before. It was a little bit further than this place in miles and in time, but I was thinking already after that big day, going to Jackson for the first time, going out to the granite hot springs, all of that new stuff added on, but it felt good and it was fun and it was challenging because even the road to get to the pool, it was confusing on which way to go sometimes. And anyway, and it was another gravel road. It was kind of iffy at times, but not bad. It was just mostly just rough. It wasn't really dangerous or where I felt like I was really going to bottom out like this was, like this elk refuge here is. And I'll put the information about the elk refuge from Compendium or whatever so you can see exactly which spot I'm talking about. The description for the place say that it is a rough road, but you can do it in a 2-wheel drive. You don't need 4-wheel drive. And I'm just like, barely can you do it without the ground clearance of something that's lifted up higher. So you really have to be careful when you're listening to people and taking their word for things. Honestly, if I had to do it over again, I would not do this again. I would not do this again. But some interesting things happen when you're pushing yourself. So after all that day of doing all that stuff that was new, I was like, I can go back to the campground that I was at, but I've already been there, so maybe something new. This will be an adventure. And an elk refuge, that sounds like fun. So I should have, if I had known myself better, I would have looked at everything new that I had done that day and knew that I needed more comfort and I needed more security. But I really wasn't expecting this kind of challenge. And so when I was on my way up, this nice couple, we were passing each other and we stopped to say hi, and they said, I think it's mostly full. But if you can't find a spot, we're in number 9. Thank you to that nice couple. I don't even know your names, but they said if you can't find a spot, we're in spot number 9, because by the time I passed them, I was already miles into the treachery. Like, there was no turning back. I was going to go for it at that point, unless I truly felt completely unsafe. And the only one time I really felt like my minivan can't do this turn, or this big crevice in the side of in the middle of the road that I've got to go through and hopefully not bottom out. The only time I really felt that way was one time, and there was no space to turn around. So I was like, so I just kept going. There's nothing to do but keep going. But here's the thing. Every little thing I do helps me learn and grow. So when I was coming down that mountain today, I was a lot more sure-footed. I was a lot more confident. I knew I'd survived going up, so I was going to survive coming down. And I just needed to go really slow and pick my lines and just go all over the road to try to avoid these dangers, you know, these big holes and the big whatever. So I just know myself, it's time for a little less adventure right now. I need a couple of things that are secure, that are comforting, that are known, that are easy. I'm not going to be having big challenges for myself today. I'm going to take it easy, and I'm going to recoup. And the van is a disaster. I'm going to clean out the van and find someplace quiet. I'm going to clean out the van, and I'm going to have a quiet day. Even in my mind, I'm thinking, it's Wednesday, Dani, and if you waste today not going to Yellowstone, then the days left that you really are going to be there are like Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So, but I know myself, and I know that I need to take it easy today. That easy might include driving through Yellowstone, maybe not stopping and fighting crowds, but maybe driving through, going to a couple of the lookouts and a couple of the smaller trails that aren't very popular. But then I need to have some place to sleep tonight. Somewhere, I can't be somewhere I know, because this is all unknown, but it has to be somewhere from the description that sounds easy, like it's a great big parking lot. Because here's the thing, after I drove all those treacherous miles up this mountain last night, there were no spots. And it was a Tuesday night, and it was about 6 o'clock at night. 5:30 at night, so it wasn't like I was coming in late. All the spots were taken, and there were a bunch of spots, but they were all taken. So thank goodness that nice couple. I can't even imagine if I had to drive down that mountain again last night and then find some place. Oh my gosh. The other thing about being out here that causes so much stress is a lot of times you'll get out somewhere and then you'll be confused, or you'll be in a situation where something could happen to your car, flat tire, a puncture on the bottom when you're bottoming out or something, and there's no cell service, and it's scary, and all that tension, all that adrenaline, all that stress, all the sweaty palms and the heart racing and the brow furrowing, it all takes its toll. And where I was last night was gorgeous. It was so amazing. And at this one point, these people were paragliding off the side of this great big huge mountain / hill / I don't know what you call it. But I just need a quieter day. And so much of this journey out here traveling is about knowing myself and knowing what I can and can't do, and just what I really need to do is stop and pause. After going to the swimming hole yesterday, I could have stopped and really asked myself what I needed at that point. And I think I would have come up with something easy, something sure. So this other place that I was boondocking had a great big parking lot. Now, that doesn't seem ideal, an ideal place to boondock, but what a parking lot gives you is safety. There's a bunch of other people around, and I don't have to worry near so much about it being all full. Because if there's a spot for 50, for 50 cars or whatever, the chances that it's going to be booked up are less, I think, usually, than I never go out to those boondocking places where it's like there are 3 spots. I'm like, there's no way I'm going when it says there's only 3 spots. There better be at least 20 or 30 spots before I'll even consider it, usually, unless it's, unless I'm not at a national park out west and the busiest season anybody's ever known, I might do that, but not when it's busy and crazy out here like this. Anyway, that's enough. I've rattled on enough. This could be its own video. Maybe it will be. I don't know. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Okay, P.S. As just kind of a postscript, I'm going to give you these listings. I think I said in the video they were from Campendium, but these are from iOverlander. That's the elk refuge that I don't recommend. This person was talking about the elk refuge, and they're like, oh, it's just beautiful free camp spots. They don't even say anything about the road, which kind of cracks me up. Just another note too, like, oh, it's a bit rough, but we handled it just fine, taking it slow in our conversion fan. Apparently the Forest Service will be here. Yeah, well, they never showed up. And now that I look at this one that did the tow car and everything, I thought if someone can get up here with a tow car, then I can get here. No, it was from 2 years ago, right? This is the campsite that I really enjoy. This is the one I really like. If you drive up, there are individual spots that you can find if you come when it's not super crowded. But as a backup, they also have a great big parking lot, actually 2 pretty decent sized parking lots, so that you can have kind of this backup and know that you're covered, which to me is really invaluable. And good for rigs and cars and vans and everything. And they also have a pit toilet, which is great. And then here's the Granite Hot Springs listing from Google Maps, and so that you can find that. And this is the end of another video. Thank you, thank you, thank you.